I am joined by the lovely For All the Wrong Reasons, which are a five-piece pop punk band from Lincoln. You see, I get a bit scared when I say pop punk because people are like miss out the pop, please. We don't like to be associated with that. But so it's more punk.
I'd say we're pop punk. You know, we could be right up there with Rihanna and
ABBA.
One
of our many.
Kesha, you like Kesha?
Oh, that's our ambition as a band, to tour with Kesha. We make it. That's why we're in this business, is to tour with Kesha. You know.
That's always a good thing to aspire to.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So, for all of our listeners who do not know who you are, introduce yourselves. Let them know sort of what you do. Go on.
My name is Alexander Lewis Statham. I'm currently single.
Hello, ladies.
I sing in the band. I was the last one to join, and I'm having fun.
Aww, he was the last one to join.
I was, adorable. Yeah. They all set up before me. They already had problems with girls, and then apparently I got some, so then I joined.
Oh,
Sorry, I'd just like to clarify. I never have a problem with chicks. Just saying.
It has begun. So were you approached, or were you like, oh please, I can sing?
I knew Jake from basically quite it must have been about 2 years ago. He did some session guitaring for my friend's band called Kiss Corona that are now defunct.
Represent
KC. And that's when I first met him, and he lives in my state as well, so I just sort of became friends with him through that. And then also whilst I was working, Lou joined there, and that's how I got to know him.
Wonderful relationship started there.
And then I saw that they'd formed a band, and I listened to their demos, and I thought, wow, this is actually really, really good, and it's what I've wanted to do for a long time. So then I just thought, I'll audition, and it worked out.
Chris, do you play guitar?
Yeah.
That sounds so like, do you play guitar?
I'm Chris. I play guitar and help with the songwriting process.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taken, so ladies, it has to be your place.
I like how we're treating this as an opportunity.
I'm very lonely.
It's a lonely heart. It's a lonely heart section. Bring them in.
Number one.
No, it's me and Jake sort of were at college, and we was like, we don't really like the girls here, so we're going to form a band and just write spiteful songs about them.
Was it a bit like, they got cuties?
Yeah, something like that. No, that's a complete lie. No, we just sort of like, we've been in several bands before that never really went anywhere, and then we thought like, let's try pop punk, you know?
Yeah.
And then we sort of like recruited Lou straight away because of his local reputation.
I'm known around the boroughs.
Yeah. And he plays drums pretty good. And Aidan, the bassist, I knew through sixth form.
Yeah.
And then Alex sort of just barged his way in. He just... There's no...
It's adorable,
sounds
really.
quite abrupt, though.
No, it doesn't. It's cool.
Kick through the door, just like, there's a bang going on.
No, like, I mean, I didn't know Alex before the band and that, and then now we're like the best of friends.
It's good, really, because we put a thing out there saying, we're looking for vocalists, and then Alex came down, first practice we had with him, and it was like, do you want to be in the band then?
Did you do the typical like, sorry, and then you burst out into this amazing
I was quite lucky because the levels were down on the microphone. It was a really rubbish microphone I was using, so they could sort of hear bits of me, and I think that's how I got in the band. But
now
I've been practicing now, so I think that I've improved a lot.
It's sort of a cross between Mariah Carey and Beyonce.
Yeah, because I never really sang in a band before, so like...
Throwing a bit of Chad Kruger.
Davina McCall, that was one of your inspirations as well, wasn't it?
Anyways,
just like Carol
Louis,
yes.
I knew you from college.
Yes, I've known you for a while, Sarah. Yes.
You are the drummer.
I do. I hit things.
Yeah.
Pretends he's a musician.
Pretends, yeah. Sometimes it's pots and pans, whatever's around. Just do it.
I must say we are missing two band members who couldn't make it today, which are, is it Jake
it's Jake and Aidan.
All right, so holla to those guys. So we'll digress a bit and go on to sort of music. Now, I have to admit, like, I quite like the sort of long names of your songs. Like, it's very conversational. You have just got... I saw your music video on your website, which is called "These Past Few Years Haven't Been So Kind."
Yeah.
Also, I suppose your band title, is quite long.
Ironically, that's one of the shorter titles of the song. Yeah.
You need to extend it to like...
that's it.
And any album, just call it like Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Well,
we've got a few album names floating around, haven't we?
We can't.
You can't release that sort of.
No, it's top
info.
secret.
Oh no,
It's
it's
super,
not that.
super
We'd love to
secret.
release them. They're just a bit.
It's
rude.
just money.
We're working on
I was Googling, which is quite a dangerous thing for me to do.
that. Depends what you Google.
I was sort of last night, I was like, I don't want to just ask you all the sort of generic questions, like, how you inspired and stuff.
So my favourite
But-
toothbrush brand.
But I was looking at band member stereotypes, okay?
Oh,
And this made me laugh. This was, I saw this on just a random page, and this guy was in a band, and he was like, this is like the sort of law for every band. This is how it goes.
Oh,
And
I think, yeah,
it
it's in the
doesn't
video.
really. But no, it wasn't a video. He just wrote a bit of a
Every
blog
pop punk
about it.
vocalist.
Yeah.
And he says to describe the singer, emotional, sensitive, and a bit of a diva.
Devilishly good looking.
Would you
could be
describe
added to
yourself
that.
as that?
Emotionally
Chris is
troubled.
more-
If he says
Chris
he
is-
isn't a
right.
diva, it means he is.
Chris is more of a diva, I think.
Oh, a diva.
He's got the
How am I a
sass.
diva?
Like, you just see the way he
Hair
walks.
flakes.
Oh, the sass.
Oh,
Yeah, I've
you
got.
got
I'm
the
very.
sass.
I'm very.
I don't know.
sassy.
I'd say like, I think I don't know. I don't want to get deep.
In
It's
your
funny enough,
eyes
the past
of
few years
tears.
haven't been so kind, have they?
Yeah.
Well, that's the. I suppose that's where like a lot of the song names of. Because we come up with the song names after we've written the lyrics and the song and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, obviously to fit the mood of the song. And I suppose the EP in itself is like the little story of the experiences of like growing up over the past few years, I suppose.
That was quite deep.
I know,
Quite
it
surprised.
sucked.
He's
Yeah.
And I had to.
I was trying to make that a bit funny, but
Oh,
Take it
I
down,
cry
though.
all the time. And
his autobiography will be coming out in December.
it says for the
memoirs of
guitarist, okay, always want to have a good time regardless of self-endangerment or aftermath. So are you a bit of a crowd surfer? Are you a bit of
Chris is
a...
a-
I'm,
renegade.
yeah,
Hey, like,
yeah,
he keeps us all in.
yeah. Jake's quite Captain Serious, but he's sort of like.
We need him.
Yeah, it's good for us. We
No,
need
but
that.
he does like get wild and have a good time and that. Don't.
Yeah.
He
can
likes
tear it
he
up.
likes to party.
He's a
as much
bad
as the
girl.
rest.
Oh dear. It says bass,
I'll do that one too.
stoic and quiet.
Yeah, that's Aidan.
Yeah,
That
Aidan,
is-
yeah.
Oh, it's so.
See, he just plays his bass and
Oh no!
keeps
Occasionally,
himself to himself.
occasionally,
He's
he
got like little gems.
yeah,
hasn't
he has like
Cracks
these
them out.
one-liners that will just render the room like in tears. They're not funny; they're just really sad.
But I'm glad you laugh.
What is it? Eiffel 65 or something. You know, lyrics are like, I'm blue, dabba dee dabba die. He tells us about a friend that said, thought the lyrics were, I'm blue, if I was green, I would die. And it just, everyone laughs so much.
Oh dear. Okay. No, the drummer. It says the drummer has nothing to do with the logistics of the band. He shows up, plays, hangs, and then leaves. He does not handle the finance or sales.
I don't know about that.
That is.
I think that person
He's
had a
useless.
grudge
That's what you
against.
guys think of me. I'm out of here.
You look
Yeah.
keen
Not like
and
Bad man.
excitable to
You know, I
participate.
like to party. Pyrotechnics are coming, people. Get ready for that.
Okay,
Got some
well,
sparklers going.
that is it for part one. We will be joined by For All the Wrong Reasons in part two in the
Yeah, yeah.
second
Sweet.
hour. Stay tuned. And I'm back with For All the Wrong Reasons. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about your influences. Like, I listen to your music and I kind of get a little bit of a 4 Year Strong vibe.
Well, that's one person.
Oh.
that's
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah. I could see that.
I kind of also got that from like the sort of long, like they've got quite long song titles and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
like-
They do, yeah. It was really
People have said like, was it in one review we had some guy was saying like about how we've jumped on the Panic at the Disco bandwagon with like overly long,
Oh, really? I haven't read
nonsensical
that
song
one. That's
titles.
amazing.
But no, I mean I quite like that. It's cool.
I think it's different. I like it. I don't think Panic at the Disco particularly have. They have got like a few on their old stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
like
Fever
their
You
first
Can't
album
Sweat Out
was
and,
like a huge essay, wasn't it? Like just
Yeah.
if you put the
Yeah.
song titles together.
I mean, are there any like specific things where you're like, we kind of want to do what they do and mix it up into our own stuff? Was there anything that was like, yes, we're doing that?
Story
for
So
me,
Far.
Yeah, I would say the story so far. The Wonder Years.
Yeah, Such Gold.
Such Gold.
Mm-hmm.
The Wombles.
Yes.
I definitely
Def
hear
Havana.
that.
Yeah.
I think Def
Yeah,
Havana.
Def
We,
Havana.
I really like their new stuff. Like I like the fact that they've managed to sort of diversify into a different way. I think like
Yeah.
no band should stop where they are. So
No, that's.
I suppose like we try to incorporate that element into us, like the fact that we don't try and keep it samey. Like try to brand.
It does sound like your own. Like I can hear like the difference. It's just like sort of taste of things, but everyone's inspired by something, you know.
Yeah,
like,
that's it. Yeah.
I think it's good as well that you write your own music. There's quite a lot of bands as well that are kind of just doing covers quite frequently, but
like
it's a good thing to develop straight away songwriting and stuff. I mean, you do the songwriting, you said. Chris,
yeah, me and Jake, just sort of like originally in the band, like we're two very headstrong people, and we'd both been in sort of several bands, a couple of bands together, and this was the first time where we was both playing the same instrument.
Yeah.
And it was a bit like we weren't sure if we was going to work well together.
Yeah.
But like we'd just be jamming a few sort of songs round sort of mine, and just like we thought this is so good. We got to like
got to develop it.
Yeah,
and you get that buzz as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And still to this day, absolutely fine working together.
Yeah.
But everyone like contributes. Pretty much the same amount, I think.
Well, guys, so it is a tradition on Not Allowed that we ask you what your highlight of the week was. And I mentioned to this outside, and they're like, can we just miss that bit out?
Yeah, our highlights are kind of sinister.
Is it highlights
maybe we
besides
should.
This? 'Cause obviously this is the highlight of everyone.
Oh, yeah, this is the highlight of our week, yeah.
Yeah.
Radio
Oh, no,
representative.
Lou, what was the highlight of your week?
He's like, so much goes on, I just can't
Such
keep
a
track.
busy
God.
That's
guy.
it, you know, it's... Honestly,
do you
I
want
don't know.
me to?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
go, Chris. Give me a minute. I'll think of something.
My highlight of the week was... it's actually a lot harder.
I said, like...
I've literally just thought of mine,
Okay,
so I could
go
hop
on.
in.
Go on then.
My friend Jordan, who's a BMXer, we were going to this place which is called Grandma's Trails in Grantham, and when I was on my way there, I arrived there, and he had been stung on the lip by a wasp.
Oh,
And it looks like he'd had some sort of mild stroke.
Oh, I
his
saw that on
mouth was sort
Instagram.
of sagging and his lip was all swollen. Then we had to go into hospital, and we were in there for about 3 hours whilst he was shoved on sort of an intravenous, what are they called? Like, not a drip, like antihistamine. That's
Yeah.
Anyway, they took the tap out when he was, you know, the thing that they put in your arm, like for injecting and stuff. He started bleeding profusely, and
I'm sorry, how is this a highlight?
the highlight
You get
is
into that bit.
the highlight is that we wound him up so much by making wasp and bee jokes for about 3 hours straight.
That just shows what
What's his
friends you
favourite
are.
band? Sting and stuff like that. He got really annoyed. I think that's why he bled.
So it was more of a highlight for you.
Poor guy, he's just ripping into
He's
it.
he's all right now.
So
He
I'm
just got
assuming
annoyed.
he was quite allergic almost to a wasp
Well,
thing, because
the-
I've never really
yeah.
heard, like,
Yeah.
my whole face like sank when I
It
was
was
on a
weird.
trip.
It started in his lip. It was sort of like an alien movement, and it moved into his cheek, and that became inflamed. But his lip went down and sort of sagged a bit. It was funny. It was so funny. He couldn't talk properly. He sounded like Bob Dylan. Hey, how's it going? This is gonna open his mouth. Jordan Reed, everyone. Jordan Reed.
Chris, have you thought of a highlight yet?
Yeah, my highlight was sort of not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. My mum did chicken for dinner, and that was really good. So
Well done, Chris's mum.
Isn't it?
it's the simple things that make you happy.
Yeah. I know, my mum didn't even cook a roast dinner on Sunday.
What?
I was like,
Do you want us to go around and have a
slave.
live?
Yeah, send the boys right.
She actually threatened, because my dad was meant to be working on Christmas Day, and she's like, I don't think I'm going to cook a Christmas dinner this year. I was like, what?
Yeah, that is.
What? You cannot do
That
that,
is a
alright?
breach of human
She was like,
rights.
oh, I was just
Everyone else
thinking of
suffer.
making a pie. I was like, no, I'm
Going to be
not
a
my
Christmas
terms.
dinner pie.
And she was like, you
Cram
can
everything
open your
in.
presents in the evening, and I felt like a really spoiled brat. I was like, I do not want to open my presents in the
I didn't
evening.
even suggest such a thing.
Presents at 6 in the morning
Yeah.
every year.
I'll tell you, I've got a funny story actually about Christmas. My cousin is called Harry, right? And when he was really young, he went downstairs and all the presents said Happy Christmas on them, but he thought they said Harry Christmas. So he opened all the presents.
Oh dear. Louis, have you got a highlight?
Yeah, I'd say my highlight probably. This week I went paintballing with Ash and Reese, some of my friends. Also, we've got to give a big shout out to Ash. He's our number
Yeah.
one fan. He's been to all the gigs.
Yeah,
So,
Great.
big up Ash. Yeah, but we went paintballing, and so we'd done like all the game modes and stuff like that, and you finish everything, but we still had like a few paintballs left at the end. So the guy was like, okay, do you want to just go out and sort of have a go on your own? I was like, okay, fair enough. So we all went out, and it was basically keep going until you've run out. And we kind of ganged up on Reese a little bit and shot him a few times more than we should have probably. And by the end of it, he just had like all over his back, was just like covered in paintball marks. But so I apologise for that, Reese, but it was hilarious. So
You had it
forgive me.
coming.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, thank you very much for coming in, guys. If you want to check out your music, you can. Well, talking to the listeners here, not you already know what your music is.
No, please tell me, Sarah. Where is it?
You've got a website, www.
fatwr.co.uk.
That's like, see, when people like make this stuff into initials, I'm spelling it out first. Also, if you check them out on Facebook, I believe you have a page. Is that www.facebook.com/for all wrong reasons, or is it the
FAWTRUK? That's the
FATWR.
Oh yeah, for all wrong the reasons.
This is it. We played a gig, and Alex managed to get the title of the EP wrong.
I always get losing and winning mixed up.
Speaking of the EP, it's also available for download. It was available for download since Monday. It's called We're Not Losing, We're Just Not Winning.
Yes.
Makes me giggle. It's on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, and Spotify. So go check it out. They've also got a music video on the website, which you should go check out. It's really,
most excellent.
really cool.
Yeah.
Is it like a cool basement cellar thing?
It's the dungeon of Newark
Very
Castle.
atmospheric.
Yeah, it's under Newark Castle, and there was about 40 years of brick dust in there.
Yeah.
It's like while you're sort of singing it.
Yeah, being in there for 8 hours wasn't the most pleasant experience, was it?
Did you get any dust in your eye? There'll be like awkward blinking, so just maybe try and keep an eye out for that in the music video.
Thanks also, shout out for James Arnold for that, because he was coughing up black for about 3 days, and he did a real good job, and
He gave us mad discount.
Yeah, it was awesome. He did a really good job, so shout out to him.
Okay, well, thank you guys. We'll be playing one of those tracks next. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.